You meet these three people in the street. You know for sure that one of the men is the girl's husband. Can you figure out which one it is? It's the man on the right. Look at the phone sticking out of the girl's pocket. She uses her husband's photo as her gadget's wallpaper. Now these women seem to be having a great time at a party, but one of them is trying to prank the rest. She's not actually pregnant. Can you spot this prankster? It's the girl wearing a yellow pullover. She's hiding a pillow under her top, but a corner is sticking out. One of these pretty ladies isn't a real princess. Your task is to spot the imposter. Have you noticed that the woman on the right has a weird green pinky? She's not a princess, she's an alien. One of these girls isn't actually rich. What gives her away? Can you tell? It's her pullover. The logo is messed up, which means this item of clothing is fake. So she probably isn't rich. Look at these three people. They're in an art gallery. One painting is missing. See that empty space on the wall? One of them must have stolen this piece of art. Can you figure out who the thief is? It's the janitor. He rolled the painting up and hid it in the hollow handle of his mop. But we can still see the edge of the canvas. That's what gives him away. If the day before yesterday is the 16th, what is the day after tomorrow? To find out the answer to this puzzle, you'll probably need a calendar. The correct answer is the 20th. Look at this messy room. Ugh! Among all this chaos, you gotta find a cat. Here it is. A girl was 17 on her last birthday, but she will be 19 on her next birthday. How is it possible? It's her 18th birthday today. Look at this picture attentively and try to figure out who this dog belongs to. A little hint: pay attention to all the details. The correct answer is the boy in the middle. He's the only one who doesn't try to pet the dog. In the middle of the night, a loud crash woke Maria up. She realized that one of her kids must have been out, even though they weren't allowed to leave after 10 p.m. She went to check on the children. All three of them seemed to be sleeping peacefully. Look at the kids and try to figure out who sneaked out of the house. It was the girl on the left. There's a dirty sneaker hidden behind the curtain and several pieces of French fries under her bed. Look at these office workers attentively. Which of them is hungry? It's the man on the left. He's hungry. That's why he's munching on cookies. As for the other man, he's just had lunch. See that piece of lettuce stuck between his teeth? Kinda yucky. The police have been looking for Kyle for 2 days. It turned out someone had hit him on the head and left him in the bushes. The police had 3 suspects: Kyle's friends. Zachary said he'd spent the last days at work getting ready for a conference. Jeremy said he'd sprained his ankle and had been in bed for 4 days. Billy explained that he'd been to New York and showed the police his boarding pass. Who's guilty? Billy showed the police just one boarding pass from Chicago to New York. Then how did he get back from New York? His story sounds fishy. How do you spell candy in just 2 letters? C and Y. Detective Marcus was invited for dinner at a suspect's house. The potential criminal offered him 3 dishes to choose from. The detective examined the dishes very attentively. Look at them and say which dish is safe to eat. These chocolate chip cookies look fine until you notice that the chocolate chips are actually bugs. The steam over this bowl of soup is suspiciously green. This dish is likely poison. The only safe option is cherries. Look at that tiny worm. If it can feed on the cherry and survive, it's most likely okay to eat. John talked his partners into signing an important agreement. He put the document into a folder and left it on the table in his office. The next morning, the folder was gone. John questioned his employees. The cleaning lady said that she'd been busy washing the floor. The designer said that he hadn't left his working place. Plus, being an artist, he wasn't interested in any agreements. The accountant admitted that he had entered John's office, but he left immediately, finding no one inside. Who stole the folder? It was the designer. Otherwise, how would he know that the missing folder had an agreement inside? Detective Brown arrived at an expensive restaurant. Someone had stolen a gold spoon there. The detective questioned the main suspects. A group of friends said they were just celebrating a birthday. A tall man said he'd just dropped by to check out the place. And a weirdly looking guy answered that his wife had left him and that he had come to the restaurant to take his mind off his problems. Can you help the detective to find the criminal? The second man lied. He'd said he'd come to the restaurant for the first time. But look, he has a shopper bag with the restaurant's logo. Gotcha! There's a boat with a ladder attached to it. This ladder is 8 feet long. If the water level rises by 4 feet, how much of the ladder will remain over the surface of the water? Still 8 feet. The rising water will lift the boat, and the ladder is attached to the vessel. You're in the middle of a forest, lost and barefoot. You see 3 paths in front of you. One is covered with burning coals. Another is littered with sharp nails. And the third path is freezing cold. Which path should you choose? Pick the third path. All that ice is bound to be gone soon. It's too close to the hot coals. Airport authorities suspected a gold smuggler was going to fly out from their airport. The suspect was stopped at customs. But try as they might, security officers couldn't find anything suspicious in his suitcase, just some personal belongings. They had to let the man go. But once he picked up his suitcase and started to walk away, everyone realized the man did have the gold. How did they understand it? There were just a few things in the suitcase, meaning the man had to carry it with ease, but he used both of his hands to handle it. It means there must be something heavy hidden inside. Jordan was very late for a job interview, but when he drove into the office building, he found out there were no free parking spaces. He decided to leave his car a bit further from the entrance. But even though there were several other vehicles in that area, parking was prohibited there. Luckily, Jordan came up with an idea and didn't get fined. What did he do? He took a parking ticket from another car and put it on his windshield. It looked as if he'd already been fined. Smart, but dishonest. Look at these 3 men. They're at the airport. Can you figure out which of these guys is married? All these men are holding their passports and tickets in their hands. None of them is wearing a wedding ring. But if you pay attention to the man sitting on the bench, you'll notice that on his ticket, it's written, "Family discount." So, he must be the one who's married. John was hungry. He took something, threw away the outside, and cooked the inside. Then he ate the outside and threw away the inside. What snack did he have? He munched on an ear of corn.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.